made some major changes. I think people should read and look at the history of what Ms. Harris has done for us, and also, understand some of the things that she had to do at the time. It's like in Rome, you have to do what the Romans do so that you can go and do what you need to do. Or as they say, do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And she did that. So now we have to do what we have to do so we can do what we want to do and stop being complacent and stop being petty and stop judging the illusion that's being placed in front of us and wake up from the hypnosis that, people are putting in our face and the lies. Read. And not read, then meditate and go inside and find some truth. Get some receipts, as they would say.
Yeah.
And look at the evidence. And what I say again, oh, boy, he's not educated. I would rather have somebody who knows how to read and who understands the laws and who can go in and have power and have relationships with people who can create a change. What is he going to do? He has hillbillies, but let me stop because I'm going to get in trouble. But I will tell you this on a celestial perspective. Oh, girl should win, and she should win big. And we need to go out there and help her. And we need to stop judging, We're making history. The first female person up there, come on, let's give us that. Especially since we're in a paradigm shift from the masculine to the feminine, and we're still struggling with that. So let's lean all into that, because there is nothing greater, as they will say, of the wisdom of a mother, as the wisdom of a female. There is nothing greater than that. We have compassion. We see 360. Masculine just sees black and white. So let's do a 360 and reframe what we're believing, the lies that we're buying. Give yourself permission to step into a new light and be a part of the change that is inevitable.
All right, Saharah Ali, thank you so much for, I like that.
I'm
that's
sorry.
Lean into truth. Lean into truth. I think that's a good way to look at it. And if you want to lean into truth with Saharah Ali, you can find her at saharahali.com, saharahali.com, find out what's going on. Or they can call Elise at, I don't have it memorized. Okay.
213-628-9783. And I will say the bottom line is time to let go of the past and to level up to all things that are new. Be wise about your life.
Amen to that. Let go of the past and level up to all things that are new. Welcome back, Saharah Ali.
Review, reframe, rethink, rework, realign, refresh, and release and let go. Mm-hmm.
Amen to that. We've got some time for you to call me right now, 800-920-1580. We're going to be joined by Superior Court Judge candidate Sharon Ransom at the bottom of this hour. And next hour, we'll be talking with Council Member Heather Hutt, who is seeking re-election. A lot to digest, a lot to talk about. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward. Are you an entrepreneur looking to take your business to new heights? KBLA Talk 1580 is your partner in success. Every day, we celebrate and elevate Black-owned businesses across our community. Our KBLA SMB Marketplace currently features The Cookie Dip, Badass Bakes, Hair Concoction, Higher Education Accreditation Consulting, LACC Radiology Technology Department, and Malik Books. Your business deserves to be heard. Let KBLA Talk 1580 amplify your voice and connect you with our powerful community of listeners. Email smb@kbla1580.com today. That's smb@kbla1580.com. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Before running for state senate, Laura Richardson was named one of the most corrupt members of Congress, guilty on 7 counts of ripping off taxpayers and a pattern of deception trying to cover it up. Richardson is too shady for state senate. For your state senator, frontline nurses, classroom teachers, and Planned Parenthood Advocacy Project, support Democrat Michelle Chambers, a champion for abortion rights, higher wages for workers, and more affordable health care. Democrat Michelle Chambers for state senate.
Ad paid for by nurses and educators supporting Chambers for Senate 2024, sponsored by labor and nonprofit environmental and health organizations. Ad committee's top funders, SEIU California State Council, not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
Girl, I have a secret. When I get stressed out, I get sweaty. That's why I use Secret Clinical Antiperspirant. It's like my own secret weapon. For 72 hours, I get Secret's strongest protection against sweat caused by stress, heat, and activity, because you know how crazy life can get. Plus, it's made with advanced odor fighters that don't just cover up smelliness. They help prevent it from happening in the first place. Believe me, if I weren't wearing Secret, I'd be a hot, smelly mess. Thankfully, Secret works.
This holiday season, Capital One reminds you to give yourself the gift of 1.5% cash back with the Capital One Quicksilver Card.
Can I earn 1.5% cash back on birds?
Birds?
What if you sent your true love 2 turtle doves plus a partridge in a pear tree?
Sure, but why would anyone want that?
The song was very convincing.
Earn 1.5% cash back on all your holiday purchases with the Capital One Quicksilver Card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
What if you could hear your favorite song for the first time again? Introducing the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks. With an available Bose Personal Plus sound system that uses speakers in the headrest to create a 360-degree listening experience. You've never heard anything like this. Reimagine your music and your drive. Experience the all-new, reimagined Nissan Kicks for yourself at nissanusa.com today.
Available feature. Bose is a registered trademark of the Bose Corporation.
We've got a lot to talk about.
I'm Reverend Gerald, the life coach. Is someone you love struggling with addiction and mental illness? Is improving your family's health important? Want to leave a legacy that your family can grow? Are you ready to enhance your perception of life experiences? Then wake up weekends at 7 a.m. with Urban Family Focus and get the wisdom, opportunity, resources, and motivation to live your best life. Join the conversation on Urban Family Focus Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black. The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
And it's the perfect time to call me, 800-920-1580. We're going to Big Phil calling from L.A. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, good morning, morning. Devil don't sleep. I'm ready. We go with the election. I'm going with Kamala. You know, some of the things I don't like what she did, but I'll go with the sister. And you need to stop stressing. Stressing would take, stress. You don't need to be stressed what the devil wants of us, okay? You just wake up. Thank God you seen your son. Now, if you take him to eat some ice cream or something, okay? Enjoy your life with that. We got caught up with all this madness, gospel. I don't care nothing about this gospel. Care about your family and hope everything work out. Only God's plan, okay? So no stress in your life. Too blessed to be stressed, okay?
Big Phil's on the No Stress Express. I feel you, Big Phil.
There you go. I love you guys. Be careful. Let's go, Kamala.
We love you more. Going right to Paul from L.A.
Good morning. Good morning. I love that call because I agree with the brother 100%. So I actually went myself out to vote in person, early day voting on Saturday, and there was a nice turnout there. So I was very encouraged by that because people, not just the top of the ballot, there's a lot of propositions and measures and local representatives and statewide that you're going to be voting for in this election. So I was really happy with the energy that I saw, Dominique.
Oh, that's great. For those of us who haven't figured out the water board yet, Ed will be on Wednesday to talk about who to vote for water board. Did you figure out like the school board, the water board, the community college board, all those, down ballot?
Yeah, I was through everything. I don't have my ballot in front of me, but I take like 2 or 3 days to go through everything. So I was ready, and trust me, and I'm getting several people in my neighborhood to those polls too. So
yeah. I mean that's just as valuable, maybe more valuable than phone banking, right?
Right. You touch the people where you are, especially those that you have relationships with and you've grown up with. But I wanted to kind of talk exactly what we knew, because me and you've been saying it for over the last year, that was going to be a KKK rally.
Yeah.
And that is exactly what that was. So there's no surprise. He also came out here to Coachella, and he tried to rile up the people there and just left them stranded late at night. So that just tells you about who he is.
I mean, and he left those people for 3 hours. He came 3 hours late to his own rally because he was on Joe Rogan.
What do they say? First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me.
Yeah.
But once again, trust me, more than any other group, black men are going to support Kamala Harris. You need to turn your looks towards the others and hold them accountable for why are you voting for the freedom of your wives, your daughters, your nieces? Yeah, are you going to be voting for Social Security, retirement, your Medicare? Because on the other side, they're running on nothing policy-wise that's going to make your life better. Focus on the things that are going to matter directly to you. Because I'm married, I have a wife, I have 2 daughters, and the world that they come into, you're voting for that also, people. So I really want to put that out there that this every election, not just this election, matters because you have literally a group of people that want to take us back 100 years. And then he's the vehicle to accomplish it. For those that aren't aware, in that Project 2025, with Agenda 47, whatever you want to call it, but it's in there. When he was leaving office, he did an executive order for a Schedule F. I'm pretty sure you're aware of it for those that don't know what it is. He basically got the power at that point to go through federal agencies and remove people that are, whether you're nonpartisan or you're on the other side of the field that were against him, and remove those people. So think about how many black people work federal jobs, people.
Yeah.
Because that matters. Biden reversed it, but just know in actually Schedule F, the goal is to replace people through federal jobs, fire them, and replace them with people that they've already vetted on their end.
We have to leave it there, Paulie. Hopefully you'll call again. We got news, traffic, and sports. Then we'll be hearing from an L.A. County Superior Court judge candidate, Sharon Ransom. That's next. KBLA Talk 1580.
Say the quiet part out loud. KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The business week starts slowly with no major reports today. Activity picks up Tuesday with consumer confidence, job openings, and the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Wednesday features the GDP report, pending home sales, and the ADP employment report. The company that owns Waymo says it's pumping billions of dollars into its robotaxi service. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, announced Friday it had just closed a $5.6 billion funding round. Some heavy-hitting businesses are due to release earnings reports this week. Ford Motor gets things rolling, releasing its latest earnings report after today's closing bell. We'll hear from McDonald's tomorrow, as well as Alphabet, Pfizer, Reddit, and Spotify. And Marvel Studios' Spider-Man 4 is getting a release date. The untitled film starring Tom Holland as the friendly neighborhood superhero will hit theaters July 24th, 2026. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 at BINnews.com.
As Cybersecurity Awareness Month wraps up, remember to update your software to fix security issues that identity thieves exploit to steal personal info. And for comprehensive identity theft protection, choose LifeLock. Start your 30-day free trial today at lifelock.com/cybersafety.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
It's a feel-good Monday for the LA sports scene. We start with the Chargers. They improved to 4-3 with a 26-8 win over New Orleans at SoFi. The Chargers defense did not give up a touchdown and held the Saints scoreless in the fourth quarter. The Chargers are at Cleveland next Sunday. The Clippers have won back-to-back road games. After winning Saturday in Denver, they spoiled Golden State's home opener Sunday with a 112-104 win. 23 points, 18 rebounds, and 6 assists for Ivica Zubac. James Harden had 23 points, 11 assists, and was 9 for 9 at the free throw line. The 3-0 Lakers begin a 5-game road trip tonight in Phoenix. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts says Shohei Ohtani will be in the lineup tonight for Game 3 in the World Series against the Yankees. Ohtani suffered a partially dislocated left shoulder in Game 2. Games 3, 4, and 5 are in New York. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580, where climate is king. Climate is king.
This is Assemblymember Tina McKenna reminding you to vote for my girl, Sade Alawari, for State Assembly. Sade is a part of our community, and she's the partner I need in Sacramento to help fight for economic justice, affordable housing, health care, and so much more. Sade is just like us. She comes out of our community, and she spent years working in our community, bringing people together. That's why she's endorsed by Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, Supervisor Holly Mitchell, teachers, firefighters, and Planned Parenthood advocates. This is Tina McKenna, and I need you to make a plan to vote and to vote by Tuesday, November the 5th, for Sade Alawari for State Assembly.
At Paid for by Opportunity PAC, a coalition of teachers, nurses, faculty members, school employees, and public and private labor, healthcare, and environmental organizations. Ad committee's top funders, California Teachers Association, not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
That morning chill means truck season!
5 more minutes.
No snoozing. Do it all in a Chevy Colorado or Silverado, including the class-leading range of the Silverado EV.
Talking to me?
Work, play, hauling, off-roading, a Chevy truck can take it all.
Okay, I'm up.
It's Chevy Truck Season. Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
0% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 9.3%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available at least in some other offers. Taking retail delivery by 10/31/24.
My friends swim no matter the season, but my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can sometimes take me out of the moment. Now, thanks to Skyrizi and clear skin, count me in. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. 3 out of 4 people achieve 90% clear skin at 4 months.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Autopsy Initiative provides a second autopsy free of charge for victims' families who have lost their loved ones due to a police-related death. The services offered through the initiative include the completion of a second autopsy, disclosure of preliminary findings, and a final autopsy report. A police-related death is when an individual is harmed by police officers using deadly force, which results in an individual's death. Police-related death includes in-custody deaths, including those that arise during contact with law enforcement officers during arrest, pursuit, booking, transport, or incarceration. The Autopsy Initiative has a team of board-certified pathologists on call. An autopsy request may be completed by anyone with a close relationship with the victim, which may include the victim's spouse, partner, relative, close friend, or lawyer. To request a free second autopsy for a victim of police violence, please visit knowyourrightscamp.com. That's knowyourrightscamp.com. Then click on Autopsy, then click on Request. At KBLA, we believe in justice for victims of police violence. We say their names, and we don't black down. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do more than just talk.
You got a big mouth. Hello, Joe, you're up. Welcome.
We're unapologetically progressive, and we don't black down.
We don't, and it is election season. We aim to bring you all the info you need for your voting, because the last day to vote is next Tuesday. And one of the most confusing races, I'll say, one of the most confusing categories is judge of the LA County Superior Court. Even within that, many find one of the more confusing races within that office number 97, where we have 2 African-American women running against one another, both of whom I've had the opportunity to talk with. But today, for the general election, we're joined by one of the candidates for seat 97. She's a community leader. She has 18 years as a deputy DA, 17 years as a dispatcher for the LA County Sheriff's Department. And she says she's got to focus on community empowerment that makes her a powerful champion for all Angelenos. Sharon Ransom, welcome.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. I guess, well, congrats on getting through to the general here. And I guess it's really, we should be celebrating the fact that we have 2 black women even running for judge, right?
Right, yes.
Too bad you guys are in the same seat.
I know.
So the Progressive Guide, Knock LA, they endorse your opponent because she served as a public defender. And many times we feel that there's too many prosecutors on the bench. We need more public defenders who would have a more well-rounded, perhaps an understanding of what those the challenges that those offenders have before them. How do you respond to that perception here?
Sure. So I don't, I hear that also, a lot of prosecutors on the bench, but I think it's an individual thing. It's not like too many of one particular category on the bench. As a prosecutor, as a public defender, and I'm not knocking public defenders, they do great work. They work with their client who's been charged with a crime. As a prosecutor, not only do I have to look out for the victim's rights, I also have to look out for the person charged with the crime, their rights as well, to make sure they get a fair trial and that we're fair to them as well as the victims and the witnesses that come forth. Prosecutors have a lot of discretion with regards to people, especially people of color that commit crimes, whether we charge them at all, whether we offer them probation, prison, or program. And so we are more well-rounded in dealing with everybody that comes before us in the criminal justice system, and not just the person that's accused of a crime. Now, me personally, I was born and raised in South Central Los Angeles, so I know our struggles. I know how it is in the criminal justice system for us wanting to be treated fairly like everyone else, and not just, be given a number and put in prison for things. But I believe that we need to see why a person's in the system, whether it be mental illness, drug addiction, lack of resources, poverty, but also to be given a fair shake in the criminal justice system. So I don't believe that public defenders make better judges or prosecutors make better judges. I believe it's an individual and what their purpose is and why they're doing what they're doing.
And what is your purpose? Why are you doing what you're doing?
As I said a little bit earlier, I grew up in South Central Los Angeles, raised by a single mother, and I was a single mother. And I see what things that our community needs. We need to be respected. We need to be heard. We need to be given a fair opportunity. We need to be treated with respect and dignity, and not by judges that don't understand what we come from as a people. And things that, even like our vernacular, things that we say, people might not understand. So I was given an example where, I had a trial where the victim said she was able to see the perpetrator she said it was a minute. And the judge didn't understand by her saying it was a minute, it was a long time, because that's kind of the way we talk, or,
right.
We might be exaggerated. We need judges that understand that and be able to be in the community and understand that's what I do. I teach fifth graders about the criminal justice system in underserved areas because I want to give our children a chance. I want them to learn about this system so they don't get into it, because once they get into it, it's so hard to get out of. It affects scholarships and housing and jobs and things of that nature. So if we can do what we can to reach them at a young age, or even if a first offender comes through the court and maybe they stole something because they were hungry, don't put them in jail. Give them an opportunity to provide resources for them to get something else. And I think in this running, I've met so many people in the community, and I'm from the community, so I'm aware of a lot of things that are their resources for our young African American men. Instead of giving them a criminal record, guide them in another direction. I went and spoke with some carpenters union, and they will hire felons, and they will train them to get certificates in electricians and all that kind of stuff. So I think judges should utilize those kind of programs to try to help people instead of putting them in jail, because when they get out of jail, they don't have the resources. Now they have a felony record, and it's hard to live at that point. So, and I'm not saying that applies to everyone, but the vast majority of people that commit, what we call nonviolent crimes, see what we can do with them to better put their life on a different course.
Yeah, it sounds like alternatives to incarceration.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I do that now in the mental health unit that I work in. So when a person is commits a crime and they're incompetent to stand trial, there's diversions programs in the mental health unit where if their crime is not too violent, they go to diversion for 2 years, and they get housing, they get medication, they get a therapist, a psychiatrist, a social worker. And if they complete this program after 2 years, there's permanent housing, permanent access to medication, permanent psychiatrists, and that helps that person, along to get along in life. And also I've seen it where we put the people in these programs and then we do progress reports every 30 days, every 90 days, and we check their progress. And some of them, like one guy, one guy said, I'm so grateful for this program because this is the first time I slept in a bed in 20 years.
Wow.
Right. That touched me because people look at me as wanting to put them in prison and lock them away. That's not always the case. Some people need to take a time out from society because they've done something really bad. But some people just need somebody to understand what they're going through and try to steer them that way to try to make them a little bit better. Because I think if we make better people, we make better communities. And I think when people see me as a judge, and I don't shy away from my background. I was not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I put myself through school. I went to University of West Los Angeles, shout out to them, a smaller law school in Inglewood, because I was working full-time, raising my daughter as a single parent. And this school allowed me to go part-time as a part-time evening student. And those are the things that, I'm really grounded in the community. I went to Cal State LA, I went to Southwest College, I went to El Camino College, all to get my degrees. And so I've never left the community. I was born and raised here, and I didn't go to school away from here. I've been here my entire life. And so I've seen the changes in our communities, and I want to make a difference to be a judge that is fair and that looks at what we are as a people and try to work that way and be encouraging and just have somebody feel like I am important. This judge listened to me. Even if she didn't agree with me, she did listen to me. She was fair.
Talking with Sharon Ransom, I should say, attorney Sharon Ransom, who is running to be your Superior Court Judge, Office 97. We'll continue that conversation when we come forward on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
Have you heard of the 50-30-20 rule? This can help you spend and save your money wisely. So, how does it work? Distribute your dollars into 3 buckets. 50% towards needs, 30% towards your wants, and 20% goes to savings. Use this tool to help your journey to financial success. Sponsored by J.P. Morgan Chase & Company.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You can even just with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains. Chevy Silverado, the first ever Silverado EV, Colorado and Tahoe have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. It's Chevy truck season. Get 0% financing on all 2024 Silverado 1500 pickups when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, together let's drive. 0% APR for 36 months. Monthly payment is $27.78 for every $1,000 you finance. Example down payment 9.3%. Must finance with GM Financial. Some customers may not qualify. Not available with lease and some other offers. Take new retail delivery by 10/31/24.
Politics has become so messy lately, it's hard to find a reason to be hopeful. Hi, my name is Shakira. I'd like to tell you why Adam Schiff gives me hope. My parents raised me to take my right to vote seriously, so I try to stay on top of what's going on. I saw Adam Schiff lead the impeachment and insurrection hearings. He seemed like someone I could believe in. Then I actually met him at the MLK parade in South Central LA this year. Adam listened. He cared. I got to see who he is. He understands the struggle we have with the cost of living, all the parents working extra shifts and taking second jobs to get by. He gets a threat to our democracy and our freedoms. Adam Schiff knows how tough things really are for a lot of us, and I believe he's going to do something about it. It gives me hope, but hope isn't enough. We need to vote for Adam Schiff for Senate.
I'm Adam Schiff, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Schiff for Senate.
Before running for state senate, Laura Richardson was named one of the most corrupt members of Congress, guilty on 7 counts of ripping off taxpayers and a pattern of deception trying to cover it up. Richardson is too shady for state senate. For your state senator, frontline nurses, classroom teachers, and Planned Parenthood Advocacy Project, support Democrat Michelle Chambers, a champion for abortion rights, higher wages for workers, and more affordable health care. Democrat Michelle Chambers for state senate.
Ad paid for by nurses and educators supporting Chambers for Senate 2024, sponsored by labor and nonprofit environmental and health organizations, Ad Committee's top funders, SEIU California State Council, not authorized by a candidate or committee controlled by a candidate.
We knew you'd stick around. This is LA's home for progressive talk radio. Welcome back to KBLA Talk 1580.
She would like to be your Superior Court judge for office number 97. Sharon Ransom is with me. I mentioned the Knock LA endorsing your opponent. The Los Angeles Times has endorsed you, saying you bring the qualities that voters seek out in judges: a breadth of personal and professional experience, expertise in the law with a willingness to exercise discretion. So obviously, I'm sure you were happy about that.
I was.
What
very
did they
happy.
get right?
They got it all right. That I have an expertise in the law, and that I'm willing to explore other options in the law, and everything they said was right. I've been endorsed by so many great organizations, not only the Los Angeles Times, but Auntie Maxine Waters, SEIU 721, Los Angeles Federation of Labor, the Sentinel, Met News, which is a legal newspaper, and a lot of Democratic clubs and National Women's Political Caucus, labor unions, and police unions, all across the board.
Okay, so that was part of like what seemed odd. Usually labor will go with the candidate who's considered more progressive. And usually police unions will go with the candidate who's more conservative.
Right. And that should tell you I'm balanced and I'm in the middle. I'm not more progressive or more conservative. I'm in the middle, and I understand. When I say progressive, I mean, it means to me that you don't use the old way of doing things. You don't put everybody in prison. You don't at being progressive, you look at alternatives to incarceration because we have these things available to us now. I was a dispatcher for the Sheriff's Department for 17 years. I also believe in protecting our public and public safety. So I believe in all of that, balancing all of that. And as judges, you have the discretion to do that. So I don't think public defenders are so ultra progressive that there are some public defenders, when they get on the bench, they're harder than the ex-prosecutors because they've heard it all and they've seen it all. And so I think being more progressive is just wanting to do something different and wanting to get away from just throwing everybody in prison, overcrowding the jails, but actually utilizing these alternatives to incarceration.
I mean, we as LA County voters have prioritized a care first agenda in the past. What does that mean to you?
Caring for people. I think I absolutely believe in that. We need to care for people because, like I said, if you can put people in prison, but what do they have when they get out? They have nothing. They have no housing. So I think if we focus on caring for people and getting them the resources they need and the things that they need, then we'll make better people. We might make people commit less crime. I remember when I was growing up, in the summer, my mom had to work, so we went to the park. They had a program, and they would feed us. They'd take us on field trips. We'd stay there all day until our parents got off work. They cut that out with Proposition 13, and a lot of kids were left home to their own devices to do nothing. So I think having more programs like that, giving kids something to do, because they say the idle mind is a devil's workshop.
That's what they say.
So we need to have things for them to do and just be positive, see positive around them and see this black woman is a judge. And I get it now from kids, my daughter's friends, my granddaughter's 16. She's campaigning for me at her high school. and so, I just think seeing someone that looks like them in this position, I think will do a world of good. Also with my values and my morals and my just being a hometown girl from 105th and Normandy helps a lot. So I believe in caring for people and getting them the resources that they need.
You say your values and your morals. How would you describe those?
So my morals, I treat people with respect. I am a breast cancer survivor 3 times. I'm very empathetic to what people go through, and I think that a person's their day in court, whether it be criminal, family law, dependency, could be the worst day of their lives. But to see someone on the bench that is understanding and greets them with a smile, I'm always smiling, greets them with a smile, and just treats them as a person with respect and dignity, I think it goes a long way. And so I'm faith-based, and I believe in, people. I love people. I believe in helping people always. I'll give you my last dime because I'm a helpful person. So that's kind of where I am. Being a single parent, my mom taught me to be dependent, to be respectful, to be giving, to be caring, to be honest, to be loyal, all those things. Because I watched my mom raise my brother and I don't know how she did it, but she did.
Shout out to Mom. Good job, Mom.
Thank you.
You are a single mom yourself, or were, I guess.
Yes.
Always. Once a mom, always a mom, right? How would that inform your work on the bench?
So my daughter, when I was in school, I felt kind of guilty because I'm working full time and I was raising my daughter. So we would do our homework together. I would make crock pot meals so I didn't have to spend a lot of time cooking and could warm something up. And just the way I raised her to be independent, to be respectful, to follow the law, to be giving and caring, that's the way I would be on the bench as well. And that's the way my daughter is. So ironically, my daughter is a registered nurse at LACUSC Hospital in the emergency room trauma department because she has this giving, caring heart and she wants to care for people. And it started when I had breast cancer and I was being treated in City of Hope. My daughter would come and I would ask the nurse, just let her do something for me. So she would put lotion on me to feel like she was caring for me. I have a picture of her with a mask rubbing lotion on my legs, and she keeps that picture because that's when she decided she wanted to be a nurse. So I think all of those things shape who we are and how we are with people.
And somebody called Starving Myself to Death in the chat says, having 2 black women running against each other is only a problem for those who are into identity politics. Hopefully in 2024 we become more sophisticated than that. I would argue that all politics are identity politics. We just kind of see white as the default, so we don't address it as such. However, I think the sophistication part is important. Like, what is the difference between these 2 African-American women? We can't just choose the black woman here. So I guess what I'm asking is, give us your pitch about why you're the better candidate.
I'm the better candidate because I am from the community. I understand the needs of the community. I understand the struggles of the community. I'm more well-rounded as far as being a prosecutor. As I said earlier, I not only have looked out for victims' rights, but also for defendants' rights. And so, I'm not knocking my opponent. She was a public defender. She's no longer a public defender, but she had to deal with that one person. As a prosecutor, you're dealing with everybody: victims, witnesses, victims' families. I've done murder trials where the victim's family, they're relying on me to seek justice for their loved one. And I still have to make sure the defendant's rights are looked out for. And I've also had cases where the defendant was pro per, and I had to have conversations with that defendant, and I didn't talk down or treat them badly. It's just they chose to represent themselves. I've also done cases where in the mental health court, when a person is placed on a 72-hour hold, they lose their right to possess a weapon for 5 years. And so when they want to petition to get their rights restored, I have to work with them because they don't have attorneys. And so it's always, I never treat them badly or talk down to them or try to pull one over. I tell them how it's supposed to be, what they can do, what they can't, and kind of guide them along the way. And one asked me, well, can you get my discovery for me from the police station? I'm like, sure, because they're not represented, and I want to be fair. I don't want to take advantage of someone because I have the legal knowledge and they don't. So I'm like, sure, I'll get your discovery. I'll call, and I'll also ask them not to destroy your weapon until we've had this hearing. And I think that's the difference between us. Is I'm more well-rounded. I'm more from the community. I've been really involved in the community, and I think that is the difference between us.
Okay, we've got a minute here, Sharon Ransom, for running for seat office number 97. What's your closing argument? And give us your contact, like the website and stuff, so we can find out more.
Thank you. So you can visit my website, SharonRansomForJudge.com. I'm on Facebook and Instagram, Sharon Ransom, the number 4 Judge. I'm even on TikTok. I don't know how to use it, but my consultant's like, we need to reach the younger generation. So I look at TikTok and I'm like, I can't do any of that stuff. So I'm on TikTok. And I would just like to close by saying this is visit my website. You can learn all about me, my endorsements and everything. But I want to urge voters, please vote. I mean, it's our right to vote. Our ancestors fought for the right for us to vote. And vote down ballot. This is a huge presidential election. We know it. It has huge ramifications for us and our community. But vote down ballot, because the judges and the Senate and Congress, they are the ones that make a difference in your lives on a day-to-day basis. These propositions, whether there's rent control or medication, vote down ballot, be informed, and just look. Everyone has a website. Look at the website. But when you look at seat 97, vote for Sharon Ransom. I am the better choice, and I will not steer you wrong. I will be the great judge that is a judge for all the people.
Sharon Ransom, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you for having me again.
Yes, indeed. We are your election information station, KBLA, Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with 4 things you should know from BIN News. The business week starts slowly with no major reports today. Activity picks up Tuesday with consumer confidence, job openings, and the S&P Case-Shiller Home Price Index. Wednesday features the GDP report, pending home sales, and the ADP employment report. The company that owns Waymo says it's pumping billions of dollars into its robotaxi service. Alphabet, the parent company of Google, announced